Apartment building insurance is an important form of insurance that protects the physical structure of an apartment building, including common areas and individual units. This video will provide a comprehensive overview of what apartment building insurance covers, as well as the types of losses and events that are typically excluded from apartment building insurance policies. Whether you're a building owner or a tenant, understanding the coverage provided by your apartment building insurance policy is essential to ensuring that you're protected in the event of a loss. What does apartment building insurance generally cover? Apartment building insurance, also known as property insurance or hazard insurance, is a type of insurance policy that covers the physical structure of an apartment building, including the common areas and individual units. The coverage typically includes protection against risks such as fire, wind, hail, and lightning damage, as well as theft and vandalism. In addition to covering the physical structure of the building, apartment building insurance policies may also provide coverage for the following: loss of rental income if the building is damaged and must be temporarily evacuated. The policy may provide compensation for lost rental income during the period of repair. Liability coverage. This type of coverage protects the building owner against claims of bodily injury or property damage that occur on the property. Ordinance or law coverage. This coverage may help pay for the cost of complying with building codes or zoning regulations that are enacted after a covered loss. It's important to note that apartment building insurance does not cover the contents of individual units, such as furniture, appliances, and personal belongings. Tenants are usually required to purchase their own renter's insurance to cover their possessions. It's also important to carefully review your policy to determine the extent of coverage, as policies can vary widely depending on the insurance company and the terms of the policy. In addition to the coverage essentials previously mentioned, some apartment building insurance policies may also provide additional coverage options, such as cyber liability coverage. This type of coverage can help protect against losses resulting from a data breach or cyber attack. Environmental liability coverage. This coverage can help protect against losses resulting from environmental hazards, such as mold, asbestos, or toxic paint. Equipment breakdown coverage. This coverage can help pay for the cost of repairing or replacing essential equipment, such as HVAC systems or elevators, if they break down due to a covered peril. It's also important to consider the policy limits, deductibles, and exclusions when choosing an apartment building insurance policy. The policy limits determine the maximum amount the insurance company will pay for a covered loss, while the deductible is the amount you must pay out of pocket before the insurance kicks in. Exclusions are types of losses that are not covered by the policy. It's always a good idea to work with an insurance professional to determine the type and amount of coverage you need for your apartment building, taking into account the unique exposures associated with your property. What types of things are typically excluded from apartment building insurance? Apartment building insurance policies typically have exclusions, which are types of losses or events that are not covered by the policy. Some common exclusions that are often found in apartment building insurance policies include flood damage. Flood damage is typically excluded from apartment building insurance policies, as it is considered a separate peril that requires a separate policy. Earthquake damage. Earthquake damage is also often excluded from apartment building insurance policies, as it is a separate peril that requires a separate policy. War and nuclear incidents. Losses resulting from war, invasion, act of foreign enemies, hostilities, civil war, rebellion, revolution, insurrection, or military power are typically excluded from apartment building insurance policies. Intentional acts. Losses resulting from intentional acts, such as arson or vandalism, are typically excluded from apartment building insurance policies. Ordinance or law violations. Losses resulting from the building owner's failure to comply with building codes or zoning regulations are typically excluded from apartment building insurance policies. Pollution. Losses resulting from pollution, such as toxic mold or paint, are often excluded from apartment building insurance policies, although some policies may offer environmental liability coverage as an endorsement. Tenant property. The contents of individual units, such as furniture, appliances, and personal belongings, are typically excluded from apartment building insurance policies, and tenants are usually required to purchase their own renter's insurance to cover their possessions. It's important to carefully review your policy to determine the full extent of your coverage and exclusions. It's also a good idea to work with an insurance professional to determine the type and amount of coverage you need, taking into account the unique risks and exposures associated with your property.